Hello students, in our today's lecture of the taxation income from salary, we are continuing with our new and special allowances. In the special allowances there are two bifurcation, exemption under a certain situation, and second part is when the exemption is subject to certain limit. This is under the limit, these are the allowances. These allowances are up to certain situation. If situation will occur, that allowances will be either taxable or the exempted, right? So on the basis of the situation, these are the various allowances that are exempted or taxable. So detail of the special allowances are given in the section 1014 of the Income Tax Act and the rule number 2BB of Income Tax Rule. The following allowances are exempted to the extent of the amount utilized for the special purpose or which allowances is received. Any proportion of the allowances not incurred for the special purpose or a saving are considered as a taxable. इसमें क्या दिया गया है कि अगर कोई allowances दिया गया हो कोई special purpose के लिए और वो purpose के लिए ही वो amount use होती है तो allowances टैक्सेबल नहीं है, यानी कि एग्जम्प्टेड है. बट अगर जो अलाउंसेस की अमाउंट है वो यूटिलाइज नहीं होती है और उसकी सेविंग्स होती है, फॉर एग्जांपल सेविंग, तो उसे टैक्सेबल कंसिडर किया जाएगा. ये सारे के सारे अलाउंसेस ऐसे हैं. फर्स्ट अलाउंसेस है ट्रैवलिंग अलाउंसेस और ट्रांसफ़र अलाउंसेस. इट शुड हैव बीन प्रोवाइडेड बाय द एम्प्लॉयर expended by the employee to meet the cost of the official tour or a transfer expense. Cost of the travel or a transfer include the payment of the transfer, packing and the transportation of the personal efforts. Any saving is taxable for transferer, packing, transportation or the personal things. So what is given here? The employee will receive any kind of a traveling allowances or transfer allowances. If any saving will be there, then it will be taxable. What kind of the payment should be done in this? The payment of the transfer, packing and transportation of the personal efforts. Second is daily allowances. It should be given for the daily charges incurred on a tour. Then convenience allowances. It should have been used by the employee to meet expenditure on the convenience in the performance of the official duty. Any saving is taxable. Similarly, helper allowances. It should have been used by employee to meet an expenditure on the helper who assist him in the performance of the official duties. Then academic allowances or research allowances. It should have been used by the employee for the academic purpose. Then uniform allowances, as the name suggests, it is for the office uniform. It should have been spent by the employee for the purchasing or maintaining the office uniform for the official duty. These are the allowances are for the specific purpose. If the amount are spent on the specific purpose, that is no pay to tax. But if any saving will be there, then he or she has to pay a tax. Suppose the traveling allowances paying 5,000 rupees for a month, but employee actually spent only 4,000 rupees. So 1,000 is saved by the employee. So 1,000 is considered as a taxable, right? These all allowances are in this nature. Then certain situation when expectation is subject to certain limit. First is children education allowances. These allowances is exempted from tax extend to rupees 100 per month per up to 2 children. That means 100 rupees per month but up to 2 children only. If the any assessee having a 3 children, but he will get the children education allowances up to 2 children only. Other than there is a taxable amount, there is 100 per month up to 2 children. Along with the hostel expenditure allowances, there is a 300 rupees per month up to maximum 2 children. It is granted to meet a hostel expenditure of his child. Then third, tribal area and scheduled area allowances. An exemption of rupees 200 per month is allowed to the employee receiving this allowance redenting the service in the tribal area of the Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Tripura, Assam, West Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. ये सारे स्टेट के ट्राइबल्स एरिया में अगर एम्प्लॉई काम कर रहा है उसे ट्राइबल एरिया अलाउंसेस और शेड्यूल अलाउंसेस मिलता है अप टू सर्टेन लिमिट. एग्जम्पशन इज 200 पर मंथ. बिफोर दैट इट इज़ अ टैक्सेबल. देन in additional to this allowances, the separate rule for the exemption of the certain allowances given to the employee performing duty at a certain inconvenient places are formed by the government. For example, any special compensatory allowances in nature of the high altitude allowances. That means person is serving at the highest point, that is exempted up to 160 to 1600 per month depending upon the place. Then second, uncongenials or the bad climate allowances or mining underground allowances exempted up to 800 per month. And counter-insurgency allowances are expected up to the 3,900 per month. These are the allowances are exempted on the up to certain limits, that is 100 rupees per month per up to 2 child. There is a 300 per month up to 2 children, that is 200 per month for the various condition, 160 to 1600, 800, 3900 etc. So this is the certain limit that until this limit the exemption above that limit the allowances is taxable. Then transport allowances given to the employee who is blind or deaf or any dumb or orphanically handicapped to meet the transport expense for the purpose of the commuting between his residential and the place of service is exempted at a 3,200 per month. Actual expense are to be ignored. For all the employee with the effect from 2019 and 20, no part of the transport allowances is considered exempted. This transport allowance is exempted for the handicapped person only. Other than they are fully taxable, or handicapped person exemption limit is 3,200 per month. Then running allowances given to the employees serving in the transport undertaking to meet their personal expenditure during the course of the performing their duty is exempted up to extent. First is 70% of the such allowances and rupees 10,000 per month. Whichever is less, it's considered as a exemption. Then foreign allowances. These allowances are generally paid by the government to the Indian citizen service in the foreign country, either its embassies or other government establishment is wholly exempt from the income tax. If any government give the Indian citizen servicing in the foreign country like in embassy or other government establishment, the foreign allowance is fully tax free for the government employees. However, a foreign allowance is granted to the Indian citizen by the non-government agencies is fully taxable. For the government employees, it is a fully tax free, where it's for non-government employees, it's fully taxable. Then 10. Allowances to the foreign technicians. Allowances received by the non-resident foreign technicians are fully taxable. Their salary is also taxable. Suppose the outsiders out of the India, some technician come to the India for their service, so the whatever is paid to them, it's a fully taxable. Allowances to other foreign citizens. Allowances received by the foreign citizen at the diplomatic personnel, consul personnel, trade commissioners, staff of the foreign mission are fully exempt from the tax. Their salary is also exempted from the tax. Allowances of the High Court and Supreme Court judges. First, allowances under the High Court Judge Act 1954, it's a fully exempted, and supplementary allowances given to the High Court Judge and the Supreme Court Judge is fully exempted. Then point number 13, allowances received by the employee of the UNO are fully exempt from the tax. Then complementary allowances under article of 222 subsection 2 of the Constitution is fully exempt from the tax. And the allowances of the teacher or a researcher from the SAARC member state is exempted up to maximum period of the 2 years from the date of his and her arrival in the other scheme of the state, other member of the state. These are the special allowances. These are considered as a basis of the situation, and up to certain limit is exempted. Now we are going to solve the illustration number 10, in which all the allowances are included and we have to solve the illustration. Let's see what is the illustration. Mr. Karve is the sales manager employed by the Panasonic Limited at Bangalore. The details of his salary and the other emulated received during the previous year 2019-20 are as under: basic salary, dearness allowances, commission on sales, house rent allowances, transport allowances, tour allowances, daily allowances, uniform allowances, then research assistant allowances, children education allowances, entertainment allowances, and compute his taxable salary for the assessment year 2021. So we have to make the statement of the salary statement of the Mr. Karve for the year previous year 2019-20, and assessment year is 2020 and 21. So let's solve the illustration. In this, most of the allowances are covered. So let's start. So this is the salary statement of the Mr. Karve for the assessment year 2021 and the previous year 2019-20. Let's start with his basic salary. First is basic salary 4,20,000 per annum. Then point number 2, dearness allowances. Dearness allowances is fully taxable. So what is given is treated as part of for retirement benefit, and it is a 40,000 PA. PA means per annum. That is, let's start, 42,000 dearness allowances. Third, commission on sales, 1,75,000. Commission is also fully taxable. Then point number 4, house rent allowances. House rent allowances is 60,000 per annum, but actual rent paid is 8,000. So HRA is exempted up to certain conditions. So we have to find out the condition and we will write the taxable amount over here. So let's write down working note 1, house rent allowances. First we have to find out the salary. Basic salary is 4,20,000 plus dearness allowances. Dearness allowances is used for 100% for the retirement benefits, so we will add dearness allowances plus commission. Commission on sale will be there, we have to going to add. Please carefully remember that in HRA, in the salary, we have to add basic salary, dearness allowances for retirement benefit, and third, commission on sales is rupees 1,75,000. Total 4,20,000, 42,000 plus 1,75,000, 6,37,000. Now apply the condition of the HRA. House rent allowance is first. Actual HRA received. How much amount is received? 60,000 per annum. Then point number 2, actual rent paid minus 10% of salary. Actual rent paid is 8,000 per month. 8,000 per month. So for the total year, it will come 96,000 minus 10% of salary. So 6,37,000, 10%. 63,700. So it will come 96,000 minus 63,700, 32,300. Then point number 3, 40% or 50%. He is serving at a Bangalore, so it's not a mega city, so we will write 40% of salary, that is 6,37,000's 40%, 2,54,800. Whichever is less is exempted. So 32,300 is exempted amount. 32,300 is exempted amount. So let's put here actual HR received 60,000 minus exempted 32,300, remaining is taxable. So 60,000 minus 32,300, 27,700 is taxable. Right? Now point number 5. Point number 5 is transport allowances. For the, as we have already covered here in previously, that transport allowances is fully taxable in the hands of the other employee. It is exempted only for the handicapped people. So in this they are not clarifying that is a handicapped or not. So we assume he is not handicapped. So it's a fully taxable. So transport allowances 24,000 is a fully taxable. So let's put outside. Then 6, tour allowances 12,000 each for 5 trips and actual spent each trip 100. So tour allowances उसको कितना मिला था? 1200 रुपीज़ मिले थे 5 ट्रिप के लिए. सो कितना आया? 6,000 रुपीज़ आया. उसमें से उसने स्पेंड कितना किया? स्पेंड किया 1,000 rupees into 5. So here it will come 5,000. So remaining saving will be taxable as we have covered yet. So 6,000 minus 5,000. 1,000 is taxable. Now 7th point, tour daily allowances. Tour daily allowances. How much he will receive? 250 per day for 60 days, but actual amount is spent 9,600 in total. For he is receiving 250 for 60 days. So 250 into 60, that is 15,000 minus actual spend 9,600. Remaining saving is taxable 5,400. Now point number 8. He is receiving a uniform allowances 9,000 per month for the purchase and maintenance. Actual amount saved for the purpose is average rate of the 750 per month. Uniform allowances 9,000 per month he is receiving, and actual spend is 750 per month. So 900 divided by 12, it will come 10,800, and 750 into 12, 9,000. Remaining is taxable. 1,800 is taxable. Then point number 9. Research assistant allowances 6,000 per month and actual is 9,000 during the year. So research allowances he is receiving 600 per month. So 600 per month, 7,200 minus spend. He spent 9,000 rupees. So whatever he is receiving, he is paying more than that. So here we deduct 7,200 and nil. So here the answer cannot be in minus. The deficit is not a tax-free out of that statement. So the maximum amount of एग्जाम्शन इज 7,200. उसने 9,000 रुपीज़ रिसीव ही नहीं किए हैं. उसको जितना अलाउंसेस मिला है उससे ज़्यादा तो उसने खर्च कर दिया है. तो खर्च जो भी होता है वो खर्च पे तो कोई टैक्स पे ही नहीं करता. जो इनकम होती है उस पे ही टैक्स पे करता है. सो 7,200 माइनस 7,000 मैक्सिमम अमाउंट, देन टैक्सेबल अमाउंट इज नील. देन पॉइंट नंबर 10, children education allowances. Children education allowances limit is 100 rupees per month up to 2 child. So 100 rupees per month up to 2 child. So 12 into 100 into 2. It's 2,400. And he is receiving the education allowances 9,000 rupees. So exemption limit is 100 rupees per month up to 2 child. So 9,000 minus 2,400. 6,600 is taxable. Then point number 11, entertainment allowances. Entertainment allowances for the non-government employee, it's a fully tax free. So entertainment allowances, fully taxable. So it will come 6,000. So first thing you have to remember each and every term in which each and every condition, how much is taxable, how much is exempted, you have to remember. Then and only then you can solve this kind of sum, and in the examination they will ask this kind of examples. So in the each point, either it's HRA or any entertainment allowances, uniform allowances, any allowances, you have to know the rules and condition of the sum. Now let's total. Let's total of the total taxable salary we will put in the outer column. That is total is 7,09,500. Out of that is a gross salary, and out of gross salary special deduction will be there, and this deduction we study further in this chapter. So until this, gross salary is 7,09,500. Understood? Thank you.